tie game at the half. From your perspective, was it one play, one sequence where it kind of got away from you? There was a fourth down conversion. There was an interception from Chris the first of two.
Yeah, I think that it was kind of a culmination of events. I didn't see it as any one thing, because even at 24-14, you're still going, hey, let's get a stop and let's go play ball. And I really felt that our defense gave us an opportunity when we did get that stop coming out of the second half there, and just a lot of frustration. Whether it was a couple of the decisions on some passes, opening drive of the game, you got pretty good mojo. I mean, I'm not so sure that we don't go down and score on that drive either, and it's just it's maddening. I mean, I don't even know really any other way to describe it. It's just there's some things on defense in the second half that I thought were uncharacteristic for us. I didn't think we tackled very well. Ty's calling pressures right into what they're doing, and we're not making plays, and that's. It's just you try to do everything you can to put your kids in an opportunity to be in a position to play well and execute. And sometimes you do that. And, the nature of it is somebody has to step up and make a play. I think it's hard to say without looking at the film. I just thought we executed really, really well until kind of that last sequence of the first half. I thought the punt was kind of a big play. I'm not sure that they were going to use their timeouts and try to get something going had we pinned them back. And they didn't really rush it, and we got a freshman kid who had maybe almost too much time as he was rolling out, and has a short punt. They get a short field. They throw the jump ball basically up to their 6-7 tight end. That's a matchup problem. He makes a play, and we give up the touchdown to make it a tie game at the end of the half. And so they've got the momentum going in. I just thought we were going to compete a little bit more in the second half, and I think some of the credit goes to them. I thought they operated and executed a little bit better. I thought they stuck to the run game, and that wore us down a little bit. And defensively, they mixed some things up. We'd hurt them with a couple of route combinations in the first half. They made a change and adjustment. They got a pick on one of them, and so that's a credit to them.
You talked about doubt creeping in at certain points. Did you kind of maybe lose the guys a little bit down the stretch?
It's interesting because at some point in time, they're looking at the scoreboard too, and they're going, okay, there's 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and we're down 3 scores. Yeah, there's probably some of them, but you go midway through almost to the fourth quarter, and it's 24-14, and you're going, hey, we got an opportunity here. It's a 10-point game, and so probably at the end, yeah, they're going, this is frustrating, but I definitely think they were game and continued to fight. We still, moved the ball well at times, some penalty situations. I thought their punter was kind of an unsung hero in this game, because he did a really good job of flipping the field for them. And put us in some backed up situations that we weren't able to dig ourselves out of.
Third quarter was a bit of a struggle on offense. What kind of changed after?
Well, we had the interception, and then we got behind the sticks a couple times in some bad field position, some penalties. Coming out of dead balls and getting procedure penalties is fairly frustrating. And sometimes you're at the line too long. I mean, I can just see it. The one on Nick, it's like, okay, are they ever going to, they send us out there and then they hold you, and it's like, he's been back there for, a minute and a half now, and I guess that just kind of happens. But, you start 1st and 15 inside your 20-yard line, it's really not our deal right now. And so thought we could have maybe stuck with some of the run stuff a little bit. You get behind a couple scores, and then the tendency is to want to throw the ball, but that's really not our strength. Although I thought Courtney dialed up some good shots down the field. We got Herbie involved, especially in the first half, in the passing game, and that was positive.
Were you in that huddle when Ty came down to the sideline?
I told Ty to come down to the sideline. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Were you in the huddle, and what was kind of the message relayed?
The message was we got to compete. This is unacceptable. That regardless of the competitive situation, the scoreboard is really meaningless. What's on the line here is us, going and doing what we do. And so I said, you got to get down here. I just didn't feel like the energy was right. And sometimes just having somebody there that can, just focus on that aspect of it, because it wasn't schematic. It was us missing tackles and, not communicating at times. And, that's frustrating because I think those guys do a nice job of putting our kids in a good situation to be competitive. And, I was telling him, like, you got to examine this. They got a guy on their defensive line that's 31 years old. We have a quarterback that's 18. There's a 14-year span there. I'm not really sure that that's good for college football. I don't know what the deal is there, but I don't know what we're trying to accomplish there. And so, God bless them, but holy cow.
Can you? You mentioned Mitch Herbert kind of a coming out party a little bit for him. Did that feel good to get him more involved?
Well, we've been trying to get him involved a lot, and it's sometimes the coverage doesn't line up. Sometimes it's our inability to protect, and there were some things that, in terms of how they looked at it. I mean, they're very much a man-oriented team, and so we knew if we got him in the slot, we'd create a matchup for him on a safety, and that's a winnable matchup for him. And I thought Chris did a good job of identifying that and putting the ball on him, and he did a nice job making some plays.
Can you talk about the fake field goal?
Yeah, so it's something we've had kind of for a while, and I just felt like at that particular moment, that was going to be something that maybe could provide us some momentum. And obviously, they sniffed it out and made a really good play. And I thought Tyler threw a ball that, hey, the guy intercepts it. Well, they go backwards. We got a 3 and out. And, so could have been a 3-point swing for us, but what do we have to lose at this point? Let's go hang it out there and let's go play. And that's kind of the message, I guess, maybe that I'm trying to send in those situations.
You guys were able to respond after 2 turnovers and a failed 4th down. Each time got the ball back, but then it kind of ran out. I mean, it's too much to ask for.
Yeah, there's no doubt, especially against an up-tempo team, and they start leaning on you, and they recognize they got to run the ball. I mean, I don't think our offense did their part. I mean, bottom line, we have to put some drives together, and we can't continue to send those guys out there. And conversely, defensively, we're better tacklers than what we showed in the second half. Regardless of how many snaps we have to play, that's what's frustrating. I think if we're able to sustain some drives, those guys probably play a little bit better. But you got guys in position to make plays. We got to make plays.
You talk about Malik Brown, number 4. You held him down pretty well in the first half, but the more he kept going, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think they, like I said, just kind of leaned on us. And regardless of how you look at it, we're playing a pretty limited number of guys up front. And at linebacker, and once those guys kind of get worn down a little bit, they tend to miss tackles, and that's really what it was. I didn't see it as, this guy's, making, schematically there's these massive holes. I felt like it was just our guys, and credit to him, he's a tough, hard runner. And so, he got stronger as the game went on, and we did.
Braden Conkle and Nigel both make their first starts. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, really to try to give us a little bit more physical presence in the back end, and what we did was we just spun Bryson back to free, and had Conkle as the strong, and we felt like his length matched up a little bit better with some of those guys that we were going to have to cover in the slot with the tight ends. And then Nigel, he's a guy that we've been hoping to get for a long time, and so it was good to get him out there. Now, he got a little worn out. He hasn't played football in a while, and so he didn't play a ton in the second half.
You talked about there being a lot of energy, being rejuvenated after the bye, and then to come out and have a frustrating result like this. You talked about the maddening nature of the season, but how tough is that?
It is what it is. My job's to coach these guys and love these guys up, and I'm going to go back to work. The sun's going to come up. My dog's still going to like me, and we'll get through it. It's what it is. And I mean, I owe it to these young men to keep a positive approach and make this enjoyable for them. You don't work football, you play football. And even though so much of these kids' self-esteem and our self-esteem as coaches is tied up into this is something that we do. It's not who we are. And I'm never going to let this game define me as a person. I'm not going to allow it to define my kids as players and people. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah.